Mezut Ozil is our next talking point. Mezut Ozil. The player that some Arsenal fans reckon they need in the team. Apparently, the club have begun reportedly talking to the player about the termination of his contract. First of all, I think the easiest question to ask and to get it out of the way very quickly: do Arsenal need him?
I don't know. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd probably have an answer for you. I would say that they could probably do a bit of creativity, but then that also brings up is, well, what about his all-round play? How much is he actually going to contribute to the team other than an attacking sense? I don't know. I mean, it just seems to be that it's not a simple case of do they need him. It's that he's just not gonna get given a chance.
I've always found Özil to be an incredibly frustrating player to because he turns up for big games, but then he's a big game player, and then at other times he just stands there and goes, "Well, I can't be asked."
Well, I think for me is that he's incredibly talented, and you are right. Is that I just don't think he brings out often enough. Maybe not in that way, but he turns up against the big teams. But when
Where
you're
he's
playing
going to get the
against,
most attention.
yeah, when he's playing against the smaller sides, and by smaller I mean don't mean no disrespect to the clubs, but in terms of non top six clubs, when you, like on average against those teams, because they're going to be after they haven't got as many talented players, they're going to be running a lot more.
Mm.
He's not going to chase back and track back into his own half to make tackles. He's not going to do that. He's shown it now. Now, obviously, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes because I wouldn't say that a player not tracking back would result in him getting completely frozen out the side altogether. I think they'd probably just bench him or put him in the under 23s or something and basically say to him, you need to change the way you're playing, otherwise you're not playing. I mean, obviously, we do. I think personally, it's something going behind the scenes. I think Artest just does not get on with him at all. He just doesn't even want to try with him.
Well, Unai Emery had problems with him apparently, so it's not unique to Arteta. It should be added.
Maybe if it's a number of different managers now and they're having the same issues, questions I've already pointed to Ozil. Something's happened with both managers, and they just don't even want to give him a chance.
So, they need. I do think that Arsenal are crying out for a wee bit of creativity, but the players they're being linked with, they're not going to buy. Gilberto Silva, former Arsenal. Gilberto Silva, the former Arsenal.
Oh yeah, former.
Brazilian,
I thought
Brazilian fullback.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about a current player. Then I was going to say
Arsenal legend Gilberto Silva. Telling them to go get Jack Grealish. Now that's going to cost you in excess of £100 million.
Yeah,
that's unrealistic.
No one's get him.
That is unrealistic. Even Manchester United probably can't afford Jack Grealish. To be honest, is he going to leave Aston Villa? Probably not. No. Probably not. He's
not anytime soon. Anyway, he's just
the main
guy
there. He is the main guy. He is the guy that runs the show there. And I think as a player, if I was in that position, I'd never leave. I'd just be like, no, I'm the main guy here.
Yeah.
Unless something disastrous happens.
He's wholly loved by every person in that club because he's the main guy, as you said. He's just signed a brand new 5-year contract. He's playing that well that he's got into the England squad, so you can't even use that excuse of move to a top 6 club to get into the England to break into the England side because he's getting into the England side. There's no way he can't get into the England side. He's just too expensive. Thing is, if they wanted to get him, they should have got him in the summer.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
They weren't even being linked with him in the summer. It now seems
that they're just.
I thought it was Tottenham that was linked with Jack Grealish and Manchester United.
To be honest, a couple of people were linked with him, but even at that point, they were still. Aston Villa were saying pretty much no less than 60, 70 million. So if he wants to get him for the cheapest point, that's how cheap they're going to get him for. Now they could charge anything for him.
Yeah, it would be in excess of 100 million.
Or even then, I mean, probably firstly they'd say just no cost, like he's not even don't even try.
Yeah.
But then if a club would just even get a chance of getting him, they'd have to come in straight away and say, "Here's 120 million." It would have to be something that Aston Villa just couldn't ignore.
Yeah, it would have to be insane amounts of money. But going back to Arsenal and Mezut Ozil, so Gilberto Silva saying that they just need to spend big and get in a creative player to replace.
But how can he spend big at the moment?
Exactly. That's the point you were making earlier. You know, gambling during a pandemic. It's not
exactly.
You know, it's like, all great going to the poker table and cashing in your chips right now, but you know, there's no point in sticking all your chips on 4 black or something like that. So there's no. I have no idea how roulette works.
I mean, I've seen Arsenal linked with what's his name, Julian Draxler, PSG.
Oh yeah, but they're constantly linked with Draxler.
Yeah, and then they've been linked with Julian Brandt at Dortmund as well, and because they're both attacking German players. I mean, thing is, they're not going to bring Ozil back in. They're just not.
No, they're not.
They do need an attacking player, but then are they actually going to go and spend the money to go and get one in? That we don't know. I think Ozil, if he wants to play football, needs to move. I think the best deal for him is try and get the remaining 6 months or whatever he's owed from his contract paid up.
Yeah.
Rip the contract up, and then go to Fenerbahce straight away, or whoever it is in Turkey, and get a new one with them. Yeah, Fenerbahce's the one he's been linked with mostly. That's what I think is the best for him. If he's 81 now, you know, this is going to be I would think it's going to be sort of his last move before he starts quite, towards the end of his career. If he wants to, I'll say secure his long-term future in terms of financially, him and his agent need to go to Arsenal and say, look, it's clear you're not going to pay me, not going to play me. Just pay up what you owe me for my contract, and then I'm gone. Then you won't need to worry about me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at a few articles, and one from the Sun newspaper. They're reporting that obviously he's on 350. I think you said it. £350,000 a week. He would be owed 7.2 million ahead of a move if they wanted to pay off his contract to Fenerbahce. I'm surprised it's Fenerbahce and not Istanbul Başakşehir, here, because I thought the Turkish government conspiracy. Allow me to doff my tin-foil cap and say, I thought the Turkish government would have hijacked the deal and gone, no, you're going to play for our team, which is Istanbul Başakşehir. Sorry, I'm fueling the fire of the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, you're bringing out your old personal business here.
I mean, they're not a real club. They've got They've been around for 5 minutes. I mean, anyway, not that I care about Turkish football because I don't.
Yeah.
£7.2 million for the 32-year-old. Can't see him.
32, is he?
He's 32, and he was at 32 in October, and I can't see him. I mean, Fenerbahce is I don't want to say it's a retirement home. Yeah, maybe he'll get 2 or 3 years. I could see him going to America or China. Actually, no, I can't see him going to China. Sorry, I can't see him going to China because of what he said about the Rohingya Muslims. So he will never go to China. Because and actually, to be fair, there is a theory that because he spoke out about that, Arsenal stopped playing him at that point. Technically not, but it didn't exactly please the Chinese Arsenal fans. Let's just say that. But you know what? He is of Turkish heritage. He will go to Fenerbahce. It looks like that's where he wants to go. And good on him. He wants to get out of there and move on.
What we're saying about Arsenal that's better pay out 7.2 million.
7.2.
What I heard, 7.2 million. if he wants to save money, and this, I was speaking to you about this before,
They could
what
loan
I
him
heard on
out.
Sky Sports is that they could do a thing where he goes on loan for the last 6 months of his contract and only pays a certain amount of his wages if you want to save money.
Yeah, I will say this. Reports in Turkey have claimed that Fenerbahce have agreed a 3.5 year deal with Özil
Yeah.
worth £90,000 a week. That would require Arsenal paying the rest of his
Yeah.
salary for the remainder of his current contract. Although there
Yeah.
are fears at Arsenal he could just sit on the shelf until the end of his contract. He may
Yeah.
snub the move in January to collect his full
Yeah.
wages and the hefty club loyalty bonus as well,
Yeah.
due to come in June. He's also been linked with DC United as well. By the way, Fenerbahce £275 million in the red, so in debt. £275 million. Turkish football is not in a healthy state, and you wonder why Istanbul Başakşehir won the league title.